Hi everyone, this is Gail from Gail Julie Makes. I hope you're all doing well. I've just popped on today to do another image transfer. This time I wanted to do one from a magazine just to help out hopefully a few of those people that are struggling. I'm based in the UK, so this transfer I'm doing today is from a magazine called Country Life, which I always have success with. So I couldn't resist this cute owl on the front either. Amazing. So I just thought I'd mention, I don't tend to do as many magazine transfers now because I prefer to use my own images. You don't have to worry about copyright issues then. I personally don't have a monetized YouTube channel and I don't make any money from my artwork. So, you know, all of this is for educational purposes. So that works. But if you did want to sell your artwork and you'd used a magazine image transfer, then you would have to consider copyright and maybe seeking permission. And if you are interested in doing your own artwork as image transfers, then you can have a look at my gel plate playlist, which has some laser print image transfer tutorials. So just look for those. Go to, which is the Liquitex Paynes Grey. Sorry about the lighting again. We've got another really dull day here, so it's that's the British winter for you. So anyway, I hope this will kind of show up okay. But what we're going to do is lay down Paynes Grey. Now I'm not going to put too much down, and I've got my wider brayer this time. This is the 6-inch wide brayer, and this just gives us a bit more of a consistent sort of layer of paint, so it's not quite so liney because you've got the width of the brayer. You know, you're not getting drag lines quite so much from the edges. And obviously we don't want too thick a layer. As I've talked about before, we want that sort of that Goldilocks. It's going to brayer off on the side here. Yeah, we want that sort of Goldilocks particular point, don't we, where it's just right. So that's kind of looking a little bit thinner now, but I think as I roll it all out, that should be fine. So basically, we should be able to see through this plate now. I can see through to the white underneath. I don't know if you can quite on the picture properly, but it's not a very thick layer at all. And what I'm going to do then, lay them off to the side. Right, so I've got my picture there. Okay, so there's my owl. I've just chopped around, well, cut around it a little bit this time. And then, obviously, I want more of the owl in. Let's do that about there. Okay, and then we're just going to give it a rub. Now, again, it's a Goldilocks moment. Don't want to do it too hard. Don't want to do it too soft. So my suggestion is just give it a reasonably firm rub, but just have a check to see what's happening is my advice. So, let's see. You know, you might be able to see that you need to press a bit more firmly. So let's see what's going on this side. Pull this up a little bit. Oh, be careful not to rip it. And there we go. That has come out very nicely. Okay, I hope you can see that properly because obviously it's like I say, the light's not great, but I'm liking, I've got a little bit of a darker area here, but that's fine. And what I'm going to do then is let that dry. You can use a cool hairdryer on it if you want to, just to dry it completely. And then we can pull it with a different colour layer. You could add pan pastels at this point if you want to do some coloration with pan pastels. And also you can obviously get rid of the background colour if you like, if you want to add some other effects in there. Okay, so this should be dry now. I've left it for a while, given it a bit of a cool dry, and this is always the awkward stage as well, which I think is another good reason to sort of try and make multiples if you can. I like to have things planned before I do them. This one has come out really well, so I'm like, do I just pull it with my favourite acrylic? Do I pull it with, which is, by the way, Dina Wakley acrylic paint in buff. I love that buff titanium colour. And then also we've got our matte medium, there we go, which will give it a pull. It'll be purely a clear pull, so this is transparent basically, so this will pull it as it is. So I think I'm going to go for my Ye Olde Faithful, and then obviously if I can get another pull from that particular print, obviously I want to keep this sort of, I like this dark contrast as well between what will be the buff showing through on the white areas to this sort of dark Paynes grey. So the Paynes grey is obviously a coolish colour, and the buff is a warmer colour. So I'm just going to lay a few bits down, and again we'll use our, again don't want too thick a layer of this. We'll just brayer off at the side again, make sure that we're not going to get any more Paynes grey on the print. Yeah, my brayer seems pretty clean. Always good to check these things if it's kind of something you're worried about. And I'm just going to take that layer over there. Obviously if your piece wasn't dry when you were doing this, then it's just going to pull away your transfer, because you can sort of see your transfer through there. It's not removing it, which is great. Also, that would be a disaster. And I'm just going to try and give that a smooth layer. Again, it's that Goldilocks moment, and I don't want too many sort of lines in it, so I'm just going to wait till I'm happy with where I'm at. And obviously bear in mind that this is a quicker drying acrylic that I'm using now, so don't want to leave it for too long because I don't want it to start drying out. Again, a bit of that off. Right, now I'm using again my Ye Olde Faithful Lavinia Stamps watercolour card, which is a 300 GSM cardstock. Okay, now you've got texture side and a slightly smoother side. I'm going to do the textured side today, just to show you sort of how this is going to work. Let's lay that down. And this cardstock is fantastic. Although I say textured side, it's not overly textured. It's very smooth, so that tends to be okay for this purpose. You don't, some of you might want to use a really textured card, but it will give you different effects and may not pull it quite as effectively. So just give that a bit of a smooth. This card, as I've mentioned before, is great for just leaving it on there and it won't buckle or tear. And then I'll probably just lay a few heavy books on top, just for a few minutes to make sure I get that pull as well as I can. Okay, so we're back. I've left it to dry for a few minutes underneath the books. Didn't leave it for too long really, but you know, it's nice to just give it a little bit of an extra chance. And what I'm going to do then, just for a bit of extra good luck, just brayer it one more time. It's best to be patient with these things. That's one thing I find with art as well. Impatience with art usually kind of, you know, ruins things, doesn't it, at the last minute? Oh, I wish I'd left it to dry a bit longer, etc, etc. So take your time with things. I know you're excited to see it, or you don't have much time maybe, but it is worth it in the end. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn it over, see what it looks like. I've got it on a big acrylic plastic sheet, so I can do this. And that's what we're sort of, I'll see, you can see my light there. If I hold it up a bit there, like, so if I hold it like that, look, you can sort of see what we're going to get. Okay, I don't tend to worry about any air bubbles that show up, to be honest. That usually it doesn't reflect on how it pulls, because that will be the air bubbles of the bottom of the plate clinging onto this acrylic backing, so you know, you're fine. Okay, so let's give it a pull. So bottom left. Now some people I know like to pull as I've got it on the acrylic plastic, it wouldn't be so easy, but some people like to pull the plate off the paper. I tend to prefer doing it this way, especially because I'm using this thicker card. It's very, like I say, it's very forgiving, shall we say. And just giving it a pull, ready for the big reveal. Here we go. Okay, so that is our image transfer. Come out pretty nicely. So yeah, the mushroom, obviously we could add a bit more detail into that. What we could do on this one, I like my previous video where I did add pan pastels on the plate before I pulled it. We could actually just probably go over with some pan pastels over the top of the acrylic. Pastels kind of like especially the pan pastels that I've got, tend to like to have something to grip onto to give them a bit more sort of depth and texture to their look. So the fact that we've pulled this with an acrylic will be a good base basically for those pan pastels to cling to. So, you know, some areas have taken better than others. I think what I would probably do if I can pull this one again is maybe take out some of the background, maybe add some of my own foliage here. This bit here hasn't really done much, so I probably would wipe away some of that and, you know, see if I can leave myself some areas where I can maybe add some watercolour or something like that, just to make it a bit more kind of workable straight away. But this is workable. I can go over this with, like I say, some pan pastels or some coloured pencils. I've got pastel pencils as well, things like that, or you know, like a white gel pen, something like that, maybe to add some highlights, and a micron pen to add some shading as well. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. If you hit the bell and all notifications, that will let you know whenever I've got another video coming out. And I'm hoping to get on here a bit more often now. I know I always say that and then I leave it for a while, but I'm enjoying just getting some gel plate work done. It's very therapeutic at the moment for me. So take care of yourselves, guys. Have a great week crafting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.